We often talk about people's error of judgment, don't we? And it's a big thing that happens in politics a lot. You've seen it recently, of course, with our very own Sir Keir Starmer. Suddenly he's backing people and then he's not backing people because suddenly he's woken up and realised that perhaps they're a bad person or not right for the job or whatever you want to call it, you know, this sort of thing. What's interesting, I find, is this particular incident because cast your mind back now to that Netflix, docu-series, whatever it was, and suddenly this man appeared, the very successful film producer, stroke billionaire Tyler Perry. Now, as I said at the time, most of us have never heard of Tyler Perry. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, obviously he has his, corner that he's very, very successful in. But I would say over here, most people had never truly heard of him. But, that's celebrity and it comes and goes. It's not like the saturation that many people remember from years ago. It's a different time, isn't it? Now, here's where this gets really interesting because, of course, as you can understand, the story was, and I remember it very well, Tyler Perry basically saying on camera that he wouldn't mind being the godparent, of course, to Lily, and he was absolutely thrilled, honoured, delighted, but he didn't want to go over there and do all that royal stuff, It didn't like it. It wasn't him. He didn't want to play dress up. Very, very disparaging, I felt, and very, rude and everything, to say the least. But consequently, Meghan and Harry went through with it. And if you remember, it was very public about exactly how they'd invited everybody to the christening, but apparently nobody from the royal family could go. Naturally, for security, they had no idea where they were going, and it was all left too late, allegedly. You see how this works. But what's fascinating now is on this latest celebrity path of pushing down the line of, we have to forget all about that and this is all a new era and we can't really focus on the negative. Well, then this happened. Let me explain. Lovely to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time today, as ever. And as ever, thank you for enjoying my latest episode of By Royal Appointment. It's always lovely to make them for you, and I like to dig a little bit deeper. A lot of fun, though. We learn a lot of things. Well, I do as well. When you're doing the research, you think, oh, I didn't know that. Or you're talking to someone and you think, right, really? That happened? Interesting, It's a bit like those royal books, what I always find strange in many respects, because suddenly when people have passed away, it's amazing how many of these ex-staff suddenly remember incidents that they never mentioned in all the previous books they've written. You get the picture. Of course, this is the problem, the world that we live in, right? And this is the problem, if you think about it, for Meghan and Harry. They truly believe that they don't have a problem with the way that they're presenting themselves. We're just supposed to forget all the negative things that they did. And the negatives are, of course, the endless whining, griping, poor me, I didn't have a childhood, all of that sort of stuff. And Meghan moaning around. But of course, she thought she was going to become a billionaire through selling a few pots of jam because the name that the British royal family had given her, the title, was enough to, gain interest. It didn't work though, and there lies your problem. So now they're cap in hand, etc. But there's the skeletons in the closet that really now need to be cleaned out. And this is the problem, you see, behind the scenes. If you look at this particular piece of footage, what you can see is that this is a particular individual that sat down with ABC News regarding allegations upon Lily's godfather. That's right, the film producer and raconteur, whatever you want to call him, Tyler Perry. Now, as I said, I'm not suggesting anything untoward at this point, but for somebody to sit down in front of a TV camera, they took it very seriously at ABC News, clearly. Now, we've not heard a word about Tyler Perry, all those recent allegations regarding, what happened or how is it going. Seemingly, it's all been crushed. Likewise, we never heard a word from either Meghan or Harry, not socially, on social media, or indeed in the public domain. Nothing, no support, zero, zilch. Now, what's going to be interesting is this, you see, because consequently, if you think about it, no one in the royal family, according to my sources, was given the opportunity to either say yay or nay regarding becoming a godfather, godparent to Princess Lily. So it seems a little bit odd now, doesn't it, that they want to kiss, make up and be all happy families. But suddenly behind the scenes, you've still got this very much dark cloud and a headline that clearly is not going away, given the fact that ABC decided to take it so seriously. Either way, they're going to have to explain their way out of this. And it's all very well Harry coming over saying things are looking good. Maybe they are, but dark clouds are still in the background. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.